So I'm thinking about the first time I heard the term multi-potentialite. What an interesting term or concept. And it's the idea that there are some people who jack of all trades and sometimes masters of none, but people who do well at several things or have interest and passion in several things and sometimes move from one to the other, but don't necessarily settle into a one track. I know for some parents and educators, this is a problem. I don't think it's a problem. Because not everybody is, and especially in this day and age, I keep saying to employers, this thing of somebody coming and working for you for 40 years, sit down at the desk and then leave when they retire. That not keep again. In this generation, in this time, this access to things, people want to do several things. And some people are actually good at several things and want to juggle several balls. Some people do one, then the other, in a kind of orderly fashion. Other people, it's not so orderly. But it's not necessarily messy either. And I believe we should celebrate that. I think we should help our children or students figure out what they're good at, however those things appear, however different or varied they are. Encourage people to explore, to find the right fit. And also to find what order you want to do it in, how long you want to do something for. But the crucial thing though, I think a lot of people worry about this multi-potentiality idea is that, jack of all trades, master of none, or being really bad at all of them, or all of them suffering because you're burning several candles at both ends. And so the trick, I think, is to give high quality, maximum quality, but also get joy and satisfaction from doing them. And if you're doing them for, judgment, assessment, or pay, that you're doing your best as opposed to a couple of them suffering because you're spreading yourself too thinly. So here we're celebrating being a multi-potentialite or multi-potentiality, and I'm talking to somebody who I think fits this bill. So stay tuned, Fabian Seh. Greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations. People, be excited, because I'm going to be spending some time talking to and introducing you to somebody who we just love her. We just love her. For the first time I meet her, her energy and her realness just blew me. It felt like we knew each other for years, and I had just met her. Georgia Crawford Williams. Oh, you do.
I am wonderful, and I'm excited to be with you here today, Fabian. I love talking to you. I love talking to Fabian, so I'm hoping that people have time today.
Because so, if you don't know, Georgia hosts a radio show called Unfiltered, and every time I come on, Georgia say, "Oh, we forgot to commercial. Well, I'm going to that trouble because when Georgia and I start talking, the time just flies." But Georgia, I wanted to bring you on and flip the script. So now I'm talking to and interviewing you, wife, mother, sister, radio host, researcher, consultant, entrepreneur, lecturer, and for me, just wonderful, warm ray of light in the world. When did you know that you were a multi-potentialite? When did you become aware of all these several things, abilities, and interests that you had?
Wow. I tell you, I didn't even know that I was a multi-potentialite. I just knew that there's anything that I wanted to do that I would try. That was just it. It was something that was ingrained by my father, who told us that we could do anything and everything. And I actually believed it. Yeah. And so once it was that there was an idea in my head or there was an opportunity, I always said, okay, fine, let's try it. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but I was always willing to try. Yeah.
Yes.
And, so for instance, I've always been an educator. I was an educator right out of high school. Yeah. And I loved doing it. But I've always been an entrepreneur as well. When I was in high school, I was sending recordings of my teachings. I actually recorded it on cassettes. Some people don't even know what that means now. What I used to. And so for me, it was always just the ability and the willingness to get up and try. And that has always been, yeah.
And I love that in researching about you and reading up on you, I was drawn, and I want you to call your parents' name. I want us to honor them because I love the way they both grounded you and your siblings in this idea that you could do and be anything. What's your father's name?
My father is George Crawford. I
And your
am
mother's
his first
name?
daughter. And so I'm
Ah,
Georgia Crawford as a consequence. And my mother is Lena Braham Crawford. Yes.
yes.
So George
And your mom
Crawford
made an
and
interesting shift in her life, right? She started as
yes,
what? Tell
so my
them.
mom, well, what I remember of my mom in terms of her work, because my mommy had many different hustles, so she would tell us of all of them. So there's a time that she was a conductor. There's a time she operated a betting shop. But what I remember was when she was selling oranges and bananas on the side of the road. I remember that. I remember she was
Mm,
washing clothes as well. But I do remember, coming into my own, because she had been doing many things many different times because she hustled, selling her
hmm
orange and bananas on the side of the road. And then I remember the shift from selling oranges and bananas on the side of the road to becoming a teacher. And that happened
mm,
in a day. So for us, it was huge for us. It was monumental to see her just move from one thing to the other. And it proved what they had always been saying, that, you can do anything. Now, of course, there is more to that than what we saw as just children. Yeah.
hmm
But we knew that at one day, she was selling orange and bananas, and the next day she in a stocking. Yeah, and that was a huge
hmm
thing, when we were growing up, to be in a stocking. So it
Yes.
really, it really was a manifestation of the fact that anything is possible, at least to us at that age.
And I love that, Georgia, because I say it all the time, as in when I'm teaching in high school or dealing in communities and saying to parents and communities the power and importance of what's happening in the house, of what children
Yeah,
are hearing, of what they're being exposed to, of the words being spoken, that you can do and be anything. Your father saying that you're kings and queens and reminding you, not dumbing you down, and now some parents, because of the despair or their own lack of vision, they're shutting down their children's dreams. I also love, and I love the fact that you tell these stories, Georgia, with such pride. You talk about your community, Small Lane,
it's actually Lickle Lane. Everybody
Little
call it
Lane,
Small Lane, but it's
Little
Lickle.
Lane,
Yes,
Little Lane. For me,
yes,
I love that name even better, Little Lane,
Lickle
where
Lane.
people looked after each other. People, this is the norm for you. You could walk around the neighborhood and people would look after each other. I love what you say, the smell of food come from a house.
You walk go in. I used to love to go over Missy Lane. Missy Lane in
What did that
particular.
do for you in terms of a sense or understanding of community?
I tell you, when I grew up, as an adult, and I moved out for the first time, I did not understand living in an apartment, because the first place I moved was an
Mm,
apartment complex. And I just could not understand what we in Jamaica would say the livity, because my reality had been so completely different. I'd always felt loved in my community. My community had
mhm,
always been a family to me. And so I'd always expected support and expected to give support. And I tell you,
mm,
it has allowed me to be very, very open to love and opportunities and to people. Many persons think that that is a bad thing, but it has worked well for me being open to people, because I grew up in a community where people were open to you, where persons were always willing to help, where, if you leave your pan a pipe and go your yard, somebody set it and call you and say your pan full. And then you can
mm.
go for your pan. You following what I'm saying? And so
Yes,
those things seem small, but it became something that was expected. And you also knew that there needs to be reciprocity. Yeah.
yes.
And so the next time I would have set somebody pan as well.
Come
And
on,
so,
come on,
yeah,
come on.
growing like that, I think was a blessing. I say to
Yeah,
people all the time that, we grew poor. Now we understand that we were poor. At the time I didn't understand that because it was
yes.
everybody's reality. Yeah. But I had a very happy childhood. Very, very happy childhood. I credit my mother and my father for that. And, when I think about the fact that they were able to do and provide for us, five of us, and sometimes six and seven, because our yard a big yard. So anybody
Mm-hmm.
down and the lock can come,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. But they were able to do it with dignity. Yeah, they were always able to shield us if there were, harsher realities. We were
Yes.
shielded from it. I tell everybody that I never ever go to school without book. I had all my books my father partner draw come from in a June.
Mm,
And we get the book them from in a July. Every partner, a film partner always June. Always.
mm,
And I get all my books. Now me not have the best shoes. Shoemaker know we buy size and
mhm,
color. Me not have the
mhm.
bag. Me have only one uniform. But
Yeah.
they always provided for us and ensure that we were happy. And that is very imperative because I think children ought to be happy because life is going to
Yes.
come at us. And you
Yes.
should be able to draw on some of the joy. You
Yes.
should be able to.
Yeah, and I love that. And again, a lot of people, what the story you're telling, Georgia, they would say, yeah, man, it's a country life, but it's just not in country. This was very
Oh,
in Kingston.
that's right
Not
off Hagley
country.
Park Road.
Thank
Yes,
you.
right
So it
off
really
Hagley
is
Park Road,
about,
round the road from Pienland and Chisholm, near out
it
to
really is about
Maxfield.
who people choose to be and who we choose to show up as that creates the reality wherever we are. And you've carried that with you. I think anybody who meets you talks about your enthusiasm, your passion, and your energy, and your vibe that carries you, that drives you, and has led you, through this amazing career that you've had. Um, and recently, so I consider Georgia my sister, and even though I've just met her, and when I go on her show, I don't, it feel like being a sister in a reason.
Yes, man.
And so when Georgia's producer, big up yourself, Stacy Delavanti, may I call up your name?
Hello, please.
Stacy sent me a clip and said, I don't know if you see this. So I had no idea Georgia was doing this research on it named Life Saving Wipes, right? That's the name
Yeah,
of the product.
Lifesavers Wives.
There you go, Life Savers
Lifesavers Wives.
Wipes. Who is that gentleman beside you
That is
in the
Dr.
picture?
Peter Nelson. Dr. Peter Nelson. He is our lead scientist.
Tell us a little bit about this journey, Georgia.
Wow, lifesavers wives, I tell you. There are lots of things that I've done, in my life as it relates to trying something. This, I think, is one of
Mm-hmm.
the things that I'm most proud of. Lifesavers wives, wives that tell if you are unwell. So my mom, you spoke earlier about the community that I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had always seen herself as a major part of the community. And, a neighbor of ours was going blind. Now, we all knew that the neighbor was going blind. We knew that
Mm-hmm.
something was wrong. And my mom took it upon herself to carry her to the doctor to fish. And when she brought her to the doctor, which was Fish Up by Papine, fish is like a free place that
Mm-hmm.
almost like a clinic, but it's specialized, yeah.
Yes.
The doctor said that it was her diabetes that had led to her blindness. The doctor actually cried. She said, but I don't understand why Jamaicans are doing this. Why is this happening?
Mm.
Because it is something that we have prevented. Even if she had seen us earlier, it could have been prevented. And it was very sad because this is a lady that is a hard worker. You know what I mean? This is a lady that, through her drive with her partner, she was able to build her house and, change her circumstance little by little. Her
Mm-hmm.
picking them get bigger on a time for her life, kind of, get a little bit better. You understand what I'm saying? Then she went blind. And for my mom, it pained her. And when it is that something troubles my mother, then it troubles all of us, because my mother shares with
Yes.
us and she's hurt. And for me, I was like, no, man, this can't be it. It should not be so that we are unable to find the knowledge or to have the knowledge to save our own lives.
Mm.
And so that's how I started looking for ways for persons to know that they have diabetes, not only have diabetes, but if their diabetes is getting out of control, because many persons know them have it, but they're not monitoring.
Right.
And yeah, so as a sociologist, I started looking for ways because I understand that people want ways that don't change them life. If it's something that you have to go out of your way to do, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I started looking, and the idea of the wipe came in, where once it is that you wipe, which women automatically do after urinating. So once you urinate and you wipe, then the urine will actually interact with the wipe and tell you if something is wrong by changing color. So just by
Ah,
urinating and wiping as you'd normally do, you would have the knowledge now to save your own life, to take action. And
right.
that was imperative. And so the idea came, but graveyards are filled with good ideas. If it's
Hey,
only
come
if it's
on.
only an idea, yep, if it's only an idea, nothing happens. And so, but it came to me some time ago, and it was just not the right time with all the things that was happening in my life. But then COVID came, and we were at home for a little bit. And, many of my projects had stopped because of COVID. And
Right.
I said, okay, I said, let's go. And I called Dr. Peter Nelson. And I started talking to him about what it is that I wanted to do. I did my own research. I filed for a provisional patent. And when I filed for a provisional patent with the US Patent Office and they did the little research and sent back and granted the provisional patent, I said, well then, if them so.
Fly the gate.
Yes, man. And so we worked really hard at it. Dr. Peter Nelson, the young man you saw there, he's my scientist. My background's in sociology. He is the man that does the science. So I gave him my initial research, because research is what I do. And him look at it and say, all right, this is what is necessary, We had another scientist, Shannon DeCosta, we hired her. And we started working on it. And it was an uphill battle. COVID, everything was happening with COVID. This is research that with chemicals and this and that, I remember once, I tell this story now, I'm able to tell this story now because at the time I could not speak about it. I remember once I had to go overseas to buy the chemicals. And I did. I flew overseas when nobody was flying to buy this expensive chemical. And when I come back, Fabian, the chemical drop and broke.
Ooh.
From what I mean. Fabian, oh my God, just drop out of my hand. Wow. I say, if you cut me, no blood no come. You caught me, but we did go through the ups and the downs of it, the trials and the errors. And when we got it, we knew we got it. When we saw it happening, we were like, this is good. And we went out to show the world. And from a trade show, we actually went to a trade show to see, to get validation from the industry. It was the World of Wives trade show. And I tell you, Fabian, this is one of the things that reminds me of just how good Jamaican people are. And that is why I will never, ever give up on Jamaica. Because when I went to that trade show, Fabian, I went on my own. Because it was expensive to go, and we were a small company. Remember, we met dollar, and I had to set up on my own and all that because I thought when I rented the boot for the much towards US dollar, so me get a boot.
Your chest is very high. Your chest is very high.
Yes, it was. I got a space, we got a space. And we were 304, so we didn't wait down, we had like a space down in the back. That's what we got. And when I turned up there, just with my, my product, etc., and just saw the space, no table, no chair, I was like, all right, fine. I was going to run to Walmart to buy some stuff. And I saw a man who obviously worked there, and he was a black man. So I went to him. I'll not lie about this. I saw a black man, and I moved towards the black man who was there.
As we do. I
did. And I said, can you watch my stuff? Because I want to go and get, some things. And him say, yeah, Jamaican, can pick up the accent. And when I say, yes, I'm excited. I say, yes. Him say, which company you come with? I said, I come with my company. And that man was such a blessing. That man, Fabian, who knew me from nowhere at all, was such a blessing. When I say, him say, what you need? I said, I don't have no table, no chair. Him say, all right, stay right here, son. And him find me table, him find me chair, him find me tablecloth. Fabian.
Blessing.
Oh, such a blessing, this man. Just because I was a Jamaican and he was a Jamaican as well. Yeah. And it so happened that he was serving food at the event, and he said to me that, all right, fine, me I serve food, so what me I go do is that me go come round which part you there. So anybody who follow me for food, I have to come which part you there.
Tricks and trade. Come on.
I tell you, and matches box in a business.
There you go.
And he did that. And so many persons came to see me, and he was giving me the thumbs up. And I remember when it was all over, because remember, you're 304. People have to pass the nice big ones to come down to you. What food they down there? And whether you're black, white, blue, red, rich, or poor, you're following the food. Yeah. And I'm so thankful, and I was so grateful. I remember I said to him that, you don't have to make a Facebook post about you. And him said, no, I'm not really too, the load up. The thing set. And I understood it.
Very much so. We know what that means.
Yes,
Don't load me up.
Yeah, don't load me up. Don't load me up. I said it. He said his name was Mark. I mean, no same name never Mark. But we just.
Because he can't get a name.
Yeah. But I always remember that man and the
But isn't
blessing.
that awesome, John? And as you said, a testament to who we are.
Yes.
Team 100.
Yep.
In working there, but the fact that you are Jamaican and you're by yourself, not only did he set you up, but him say, "I'm gonna bring the food down to where you're there, so people will come and see you because you're by yourself." Blessing, blessing, blessing,
Yes.
blessing,
Yes.
blessing,
And
blessing.
and it is a blessing being a Jamaican. And I want people to remember that it is
Mm-hmm.
a blessing when you're out there on the international stage. Because remember, these are large companies that are at this particular
With
trade show.
bucketive and money and
What
teams.
a team! First of all, the person who is there is hired just to be there. You know, that is a job. Yeah. So when you are giving out your card as the team, you're like, really? You know, but
Mhm.
people just hearing that you're Jamaican, they gravitate towards you. Yep,
Yes.
even if it is that they're not as interested in your product, they're interested in the fact that you're Jamaican and in
Jamaican.
Jamaica, and they're sharing their experiences and their love of Jamaica, etc. And so,
Yeah.
if we can love ourselves as much as people love us,
Hey, come on, say it again. Say it
if we
again.
could ever, if even 50% of the love that is out in the world for us,
For
people,
us.
yeah,
Georgia, I keep saying we are literally a dot on the map. The world should not know us the way they do. We are literally, not figuratively,
no,
a
no,
dot on the map. Yet our name is on every. There's something in our DNA. There's something in our DNA. It's in the fiber of our being. And then when we show up and embrace that, the amazing things that happen, because you, with your one woman team, with the Brother Herbert, went on to win an award.
yeah, well, it is from that World of Wipes conference that we were nominated for the awards. And when we were told that we were being nominated, you know, as best new product, that sort of thing, we're like, okay, because at that time, there's thousands are persons that are going to be nominated, and we didn't even care that much. Yeah. But then we got the email that said that, you know, you were nominated, give us some more information about your product. And so and we gave the information, they asked us to send the samples and so forth, that we could now really be a part. And then we got back an email to say that we were top 3. So of all the products across the world that were
Because you
created,
were what? Boot number 304.
oh,
See
look,
there?
you understand?
Jamaican made product, Lifesavers Wipes, wins the prestigious International Design Excellence Awards, the Idea Award.
Yeah,
Georgia Crawford, big up yourself. Dr.
yeah.
Nelson, big up yourself. The brethren, Mark, big up
Yes,
yourself.
yes, man.
Georgia,
It
and
was.
when Stacey sent me your accent, I was so proud of you.
Thank
So
you.
proud of you. And I love you telling the story of how your family, this person says, silicon money, silicon money here. It became a community and a family thing. People say, see what you need from me. How can I help?
Yeah, yeah.
The village, the
The village.
village, the
And I
village,
think
the
it's
village.
imperative. And that's the Jamaica that I know. It has always been the Jamaica that I know. And it has been the means through which our family has been building ourselves little by little. Because we come from a little kubo hole. You know, that's what
Mm-hmm.
they say in Jamaica, you know. A little, if you see where my mom was from, in Westmoreland, it's literally a little kubo hole. And
Yeah,
my grandmother, you know, has 11 children, yeah, in terms of on my mother's side.
right.
And there's one that came to Kingston first. You know how it is in Jamaica. One come at town
Mm-hmm.
and try a thing. And Auntie Vida came to Kingston. She used to live in Tivoli. That's our base. And
Mm-hmm.
almost everybody that leave from town stop at Auntie Vida Tivoli for a
Thank you.
year, for a
Thank you.
2 year, till them branch
Thank
out.
you.
She have a
Thank
little
you.
shop, and that little shop feed at least 2 generations.
Yes.
Yeah. At her funeral, I said
Yes.
that if she had invested her profits back into that little shop, it'd be Walmart. But
Mm.
instead, it was used to help the little one at go to school, and help the
Thank
little one
you.
at this, and help the little one at that.
Thank you.
And of course, it is our duty to pass it on to the generation that comes
Paid
up.
forward, paid forward, paid
It has to
forward.
be.
Support and encourage people.
Has to be.
And like Mark, even people we don't know, not necessarily our family. Because a
Ah,
kind word and a kind gesture can change the course of somebody's life.
can you imagine? Can
All
you
the
imagine?
time.
I'm sure that if I'd left that day, I would not have gotten half of the things done. If I'd
Thank you.
left to go, and worse, if it is that food over there beside my boot. Food. Never the way to got 304.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
So, so you are also mother and wife.
I
Where did
am.
you meet your husband?
Oh Lord. I met my husband at a party, at an office party. I still have that photo of the very first day we met. And so I must say thanks to Brown Girl. she is Brown Girl to us, but she's Simone. But I can tell you, my neighbor Brown Girl grew up with us in the lane, you know. So I had gone through Fabian a horrible breakup. And you know,
Mm.
when you go through your first love, I loved that young man. I will not even pretend.
Mm.
I loved him with everything inside me at the time. And it was a horrible breakup for me because in
Right.
reality, the man did left long time before me, though.
Hey, come on.
So
As they are want to do.
yes. So when I realized or when I accepted, because possibly they did tell me 3 or 4 times before.
Hey, but you never hear it.
Yes.
Heard that him say,
Yup,
no.
yup, yup. But when it was finally accepted, I really felt it and I was locked in for a while. And I remember Brown Girl came and I talk about the community that I grew up in. Brown Girl came to me the week before and she said, yeah, come out of your yard. You and
Mm.
I have one party, yeah, come out of your yard. And that brown girl is a very forceful girl, you know. At the time, she was the security guard at the company. So she was actually contracted to the company. And she said, they said she can come. She don't know if she get no guest, but we must come same way because I want a fair security friend.
Come
I go
see
work
me.
there.
Thank
So
you.
she said we must come. On the day of the party, I was not going. I was lying down in my bed because I'm mourning, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. She come and she insists that I need to come out and she go on bad. And so I got up and I went with Brown Girl to that party. And it was such a wonderful event, you know, especially because I'd not been out for such a long time. I didn't even know
Yes.
that life existed outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I danced, and I'm one of those persons. I love dancing. I love enjoying myself, you know, and I'm looking nice, and I'm just so happy to be out. And I met him there, but I didn't remember meeting him because I was dancing with everybody, you know, I'm
Right.
just happy, you know. And I remember about a week later, I got a call and he said that his name is Jack. We met at the party. And I'm like, huh? He says that, you know, such and such gave my number. And it is after that now she called me to say, oh, you know, one manager at the place did like, you know, and that team said, want your number. But I told him I have to buy me lunch for a week first.
This is one girl.
Yes.
Me love her. Me love her.
So
No
he had
man,
to buy her.
no man I run
Yes.
just so. No man I run just so.
What you
You have
said?
to invest in a
Yes,
this. You
man.
get
She said, "Oh, you're saying serious, cause him buy her lunch for the week."
nice.
And I met him over the phone, and I didn't remember him. I mean, just as the person, you know, because as I said, there are many persons, but it was a breath of fresh air speaking to him, you know.
Nice.
And he has been to this day my biggest blessing. I call him my
Nice.
blessingest blessing, you know.
When did you know he was the one?
All right. So there are different parts of it, you know. I knew I was serious about him a little bit earlier, you know, because I am one of those women, you know. I was very intentional about dating. So once I started liking him, I started thinking
Mm-hmm.
about, you know, what is next for us. But when I knew I would marry this man, I actually got pregnant. And
Mm.
I went to the doctor, and the doctor at the time said that the child was threatening to abort itself. As a matter of fact, it was a very callous doctor. The doctor said, this baby's not going to make it. Just go home and wait, you know, for everything to just terminate. And I was like, I mean, I was so hurt by how he had dealt with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he was on his way to the doctor as well. And I was saying he's just parking outside, just waiting. Him don't have to come in. I just don't know what is going to happen, you know. But
Wow.
when we got home, and you know we were kind of processing all of it. I remember the night
Mm-hmm.
he held my hands and he prayed and he prayed and he prayed,
Mm.
and I'm like, but you don't see your fine husband.
And a praying husband.
Yes, and a
praying
point.
husband.
I was
He
like,
have
Georgia,
manners, he can have
you
confidence, he's a praying husband.
I at that point I knew I was going to marry him
Look
because
at
I
God in our
liked him. Yep,
lives.
I had
Yes.
liked him before. There are things that let me knew that I wanted to be with him, but at that time, I was like,
And how
this.
long you been married now?
I'm going, Lord God. Well, because I'm 25, I don't want to tell you, right? Because I'm 25, right? But I'm going 16 years of marriage now.
Wow.
Yes, I
My
am going
congratulations and
thank
affirming many,
you.
many years. And how many children?
Three children, three
Three. And
children.
what are the
Ria.
ages?
So I have Ria, who is 16 as well.
Mhm.
Yes, we got married at the same time.
Right.
And we have Sky, who is 10. And Nathan is my one boy. Yes, my one son. And Nathan is 9 this
Nine.
year. Or is it 8? Like something about this. I know for them.
Right. And you were the first girl in your family, so you're the
Well, I'm
big
the first
sister
girl for my daddy. I'm the
for your
first girl for
dad.
my daddy, but my mom has two girls who are older than me. So my mother has two girls
Right.
before, she met my father. My father has two boys before he met my mom.
Okay. So nice, nice, nice. And as I said, just based on meeting you and knowing you and hearing your stories, family I know means so much to you and community. But you also reflect that, Georgia. You stand in that truth. Oh, she muted. What happened? Georgia, paging Georgia Crawford. Georgia, you're mute and your picture gone. As I pick her up. Oh,
Is it
no,
me?
there she is. She's back. She's back. You're
Okay, it
back.
was me. Okay, wonderful.
Yes, you went muted and your picture disappeared.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
back.
so maybe that
God,
this,
good.
yeah. But I'm saying, but you reflect and you radiate that in your being, which I think is so important. That consistency. Do you have any other big ideas, dreams, goals, things you want to tackle and challenge?
I
Because your
mean,
show is Monday to Friday, right?
yes, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
1 to 3 on
Yeah,
Edge, right?
on
And
the
that's
edge.
a
Yeah.
full time thing, don't it? That
And
takes a
that
lot of time and
is.
energy. Yes.
It does. I have good people around me. I say to people, I am able, and just women in general who are out there doing, and men who are out there doing, it's because of support. I am a supported woman. There's no such thing as any sort of super great. Mm-mm. They're
Mm-mm.
supported people. And
Team.
so, yeah, it's the importance of a team. I have a good producer who helps with the show. Anything that I'm doing, I mean, just the fact that I can call on my cousin, Katie Ann. We call her Bumpy, but her name is Katie Ann. As a matter of fact, her
Mhm.
name is Miss Braham because she's an educator. Yes, so for those of you who know her, she's Miss Braham. But but I can say to Miss Braham, pick up my picnic them. Me have a meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Yes.
call my sister and I can ask the same. I can say I'm coming home late, so on the run go over on an uncle. I live right next door to my brother. Go
Right.
for your uncle, make sure and I tell him feed them, that sort of thing.
Yes.
There is quite a bit of support. There are lots of dreams I have as it relates to things that I believe. I mean, I want to write. I love writing. Those who know me on social media, I write all kind of things all the time. My market chronicles, I love going to the market. And I write about all the things that Jamaicans do because Jamaicans fascinate me. They
Mm.
fascinate me. So I like to write. But ideally, I want to have enough money to retire and play Dandy Shandy with Pitney them. That's it. Yes. To get up and just play some Dandy Shandy,
Can
with
I
a
come to
Pitney
the
them.
phone? I'm playing Daddy Shadow with the kids later.
Yes. That is, my dream is to just get up and play Dandy Shandy. Not cook for them and them kind of things. I don't have no such desire.
When it's Daddy Shadow time, call you.
Call me, yes. Otherwise, on the own.
Lovely. So I wanted to congratulate you on that award, on that journey, and on all the things you have done in your life and will continue to do. It's a pleasure to know you and share space with you, to listen to you. Enough love and light, enough love and light.
I,
You're such
Fabian,
a gem.
and
Yeah.
the feeling is mutual, Fabian.
Yes. Yes.
You're one of the persons that, bring life to me. Bring life. It's like, oh, it's Fabian. Okay. That's
Yes.
sort of thing. I get excited about it.
Yeah, man. I
So,
love it. And so everybody who come on the show have to play a game.
okay.
And so your options are, we have something called rapid fire where I just say some words and you say whatever comes to your mind. There's a
Okay.
little spelling
What?
challenge. There's something called, let me ask you something. Let's just ask you about some general things in your life. There's mix up and blender.
Oh, Lord.
Which is asking you about things that you may not have revealed or want to reveal. And there's Jamaican trivia. So what are you choosing? Mix up and blender, Jamaican trivia. Let me ask you something. You say spelling no or
No.
rapid fire?
Let's go with rapid fire.
Rapid fire. So no hesitation.
Okay.
All right. So your first word is money.
Nuff.
Teeth.
From teeth. God laugh.
Black.
Man, white man, Chinese man.
Sex. Sex.
Oh, good.
Yee! If you're lucky. Twins. Twins.
Of twins. Twins.
Mango.
Sweet.
Hero.
Nanny.
Marga.
Man no good.
Wedding.
Oh, wonderful.
Soca.
Music.
Chocolate.
Tea.
Murder.
She wrote.
Virago.
Georgia.
Crocodile.
Tears.
Catchy Shubi.
Shubi Keshi.
Samfai.
Man.
And the last one, Bunununus.
Fabian.
We love you. And I feel the same. Georgia Crawford Williams, what a pleasure, what a pleasure, what a pleasure. I'm affirming your highest good, and not just for you, but your family. I'm blessing you from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Love and light, my sister, every time, every time, every time. We love you. We love you.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. Thanks for being on Fabian Seh. Enough love. Take care.